Good morning, good morning. Let's get straight into it. So, signs if you are an intercessor. One, when you come into people's lives, you make them want to change or force them to want to heal and change who they are. So you could be the person that comes into someone's life and you put a highlight on something that they never knew they had, or nobody had ever had the gall to tell them about themselves. And it makes them come to a realization that they do have some issues that they need to pay attention to because nobody has ever laid it out so plain and simple like you have. Or, if you end up disconnecting from these people, they might come to the realization that, man, I actually really did lose a good friend or a good partner or somebody that was actually good in my life. And it'll make them realize that there's some things about them that want to change. Maybe they'll even receive some revelations from the Lord Himself and let them know that, yeah, you were the problem and you do need change. Two, people's lives improve when you are in them. Opportunities start coming towards them. Things about them start to change. Maybe your light causes them to be happier or more joyful. You bring peace or a sense of calming energy into this person's life. Three, people feel very comfortable around you. So if you notice that a lot of times you'll come into contact with strangers and they just start telling you their entire life story, or they just start talking to you like you guys have known each other your whole life, you may be an intercessor. And you bring this peaceful, welcoming energy where you're not judgmental, but you do offer really good advice, not coming from a place of condemnation, but pure love and wanting to see somebody improve themselves and do better. In accordance with that, you may be the person that some people tend to call for advice or to feel better, or they want to pick me up. You'll notice that you might even get used as the therapy friend or the therapy person. We'll get more into that and how you could protect your energy because some people take advantage of it and misuse it and abuse it. Four, you have survived things that should have or could have you. Things that a lot of people did not survive or would not have been able to overcome. You ever tried to tell a little bit of your testimony or speak about some of your story and people are like, whoa, like that's a lot, but somehow you're still okay and walking and moving in love and light and peace. Like you don't look or seem like you've been through any of the things that you've been through. You may be an intercessor. Five, you are a polarizing character, meaning people either love you or hate you, but either way, you leave a very lasting impression on all of the people that you meet and come into contact with. Six, your energy is very loud, meaning you tend to shift the atmosphere whenever you enter a place, typically in closed spaces. So when you start a new job, when you walk into a place of business, anywhere you walk into, and your energy is just so loud, it shifts the atmosphere. You may even notice that people tend to stare at you a lot. A lot of people want to talk to you. A lot of people are drawn to you, or people might even be distant from you because there's just something about your energy that's different. And it's that the anointing that comes with being an intercessor, it comes with a loud energy, a boldness, because you have to be bold to be able to recognize things that a lot of people overlook, sweep under the rug, or turn a blind eye to. You are usually the person that takes notice of things and wants to take action, whether you verbalize it or not. You are somebody that picks up on things that other people overlook or turn aside from. In accordance with this, you may have had people tell you that you are intense or too much or you're a lot. Even if you're quiet or introverted, it's really just your energy, that spirit on you, that anointing that you have with this gift. It just comes with a very loud energy. You also notice that you're one of those people, like, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when you do it. And it's just your energy is just different. People hold you to a different standard than other people. It's almost like people pedestalize you in a way and see you in almost like this God tier, which is absolutely inappropriate. But it just is what usually comes with the anointing. Don't take it personal, and just know that you just can't do what everybody else does. You have to be very mindful of the way in which you steward this gift. I don't know what number I'm on, but the areas in which you will experience the most spiritual warfare in is your finances. You will attract a lot of energy vampires, narcissists, Jezebels, users, leeches, parasites. You will come into contact with a lot of very jealous and envious people. People always try to belittle you, play in your face, talk down to you, take advantage of you, manipulate you. You will come into contact with a lot of these people. People will even try to humiliate you, and you'll notice you'll come into contact with people that will go from admiring you to being jealous of you, being envious of you, trying to sabotage you. That admiration will quickly turn into jealousy and envy, because the thing about being an intercessor is you walk in authenticity. You don't care what people think or how they feel about you. You are just you. Everybody genuinely gets the same version of you, and that can agitate a lot of people because a lot of people are out here wearing a mask and they don't feel comfortable being themselves. So though they might admire that very thing about you, it could quickly turn into jealousy and envy. So be very mindful of that. In accordance with the last point that I made, when you are an intercessor, you'll most likely be a popular loner, a well-known loner. People are infatuated with you, find you very, very interesting and intriguing, but they distance themselves from you or ostracize you, or you might even be the black sheep of the family. And in accordance with that, you'll notice that that's the reason why you'll come into contact with what seems to be a lot of users and energy vampires. Like, it seems like the love and the advice or whatever you give to other people, most people do not give it back to you in return. And a part of the reason why that happens is because we intercede for the wrong people, one, or two, we intercede too long. So sometimes you can be on an assignment in somebody's life where you're meant to intercede for them, pray for them, come into their life and try to heal them and make them better, but you overstay your welcome. You're not supposed to become everybody's best friend or allow too much access to you. Go in there, do your job, do what you're told, and then dip. Whatever they do with what you offered into their life is what they do. They are now accountable for that. You are no longer accountable to try to bear the yoke and the weight and the issues and the trauma of other people. This is why you could, you allow too many people to come in and drain your energy, essentially, and you'll be crying and weeping about all of these energy vampires over abusing you and abusing that energy and the light that you give, but you are allowing that access. Nobody told you to do that. After you've already told them what they need to do and they don't do that, that's on them. Leave now before you end up draining yourself. And understand also that the reason why you come into somebody's life and you notice their life start to change and get better and your life starts to get worse, the Lord could have been using that whole situation to test that person. And once you notice that they are failing the test, you need to disconnect. Stop trying to fix and heal people that are abusing you and hurting you in the process. If they are hurting you, then the test has failed and your time is now up in their life. And you now remove that favor, remove that love and that peace, and let them figure it out on their own. Next, you have a deep yearning and desire to help people. Even at your lowest, you'll find that you just want to make other people happy and you want to see other people do well and better. Even the people that hurt you, even the people that may be no good for you, you don't want to see anybody down bad, and you just have a hard time holding on to hatred, unforgiveness, bitterness in your heart. Next, when you pray for others, them prayers go up. Them prayers work. When you pray for somebody to get something or receive something, you see it happen like that. That is a telltale sign that you are an intercessor. Lastly, when you disconnect from somebody intentionally, you will notice that their life starts to crumble and fall apart. So as I mentioned earlier about removing your energy and removing your favor from people that are showing that they don't appreciate it, this goes into the do not cast your pearls before swine. So as I mentioned before, the Lord could be bringing you into somebody's life to test them. You could be the thing that's standing in the way of them being delivered, or God coming to them to welcome them into the covenant, because you don't choose God, God chooses you. So God could be wanting to use somebody, and he might bring you into that person's life to see if they are of the enemy or if their heart is in the right place to be able to receive Christ. And if they fail the test, then that means it's time for you to leave, as I mentioned before. So if this person has hurt, abused you, and belittled you after they got their blessings and their whole energy switched into something negative, essentially their true colors came out as to what type of person they would be if they were to be blessed, and they failed the test and now their life is crumbling. So I want to end this video. I know it's long. Thank you for anybody that stayed and finished the whole thing. I really hope this has given you some type of wisdom or understanding about what it means to be an intercessor. But I just wanted to take this time to state that this anointing is very, very serious, and you need to use it wisely, because you could be putting somebody else's life or your life in jeopardy by mishandling it. Meaning, like I mentioned earlier in the video, coming into people's lives that don't want to be helped or that are clearly working for the enemy and making their life better or allowing them to benefit and operate off of your favor, it's no bueno. You're not supposed to do that. So vet people, use your discernment, before you just try to intercede, because you could be standing in the way of them getting deliverance or their karma.